with his take here. I think it's very wise. And this is actually one of the reasons why I like Ben, because he has a bit more nuance in some of these discussions that he has, especially with people he disagrees with.
When it comes to my own brand, one of the things that we've really tried to do is talk with people outside our box. I mean, we talk to people across the aisle frequently. I have friends, obviously, who are not on the same page politically as I am. I try not to attribute bad motivations to the people who I'm arguing with. I try to say you're making a bad argument, but I'm not sure that it's coming from a bad place. And typically, I mean, I get flack from my own side for saying this, but I tend to attribute most things to stupidity or ignorance rather than to malice.
Never.
So, yeah, I guess Ben Shapiro, he was on this show. This guy's name is George Janko. He's a Christian. I don't know if I'd label him a fundamentalist, but like he's quite Christian. And so they're having a conversation about Christianity. And the name of the video here is Ben Shapiro Pressed on Jesus by George Janko. So, and Ruslan is the one who's covering it. We're going to check it out. So, you know, I'm Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go.
If my God did come down to save me, I was not worthy of being saved. Our people tried to kill him, but yet he still came and loved me.
I mean, I think that that's a very wise insight.
George Janko brings up Jesus and Christian.
There was a but there. There was a but that was coming after that. Okay, I think that's a very wise insight, but you're wrong because your God's not real. Mine is. Yours is wrong. Mine's real. That's how we do here.
Christianity in a conversation with Ben Shapiro and his response to people coming back to church in America and what he's done for that may shock you. If you guys aren't familiar with who George Janko is, he's a podcast host who started with Logan Paul, and after having a massive fallout over sharing his faith on the Logan Paul podcast.
That was the fallout right there. He was just falling out. He was like, you know, I'm angry and I'm gonna leave because I almost covered this the other day because it was kind of funny. Logan Paul was being a dick. Like he was basically like making fun of that guy's religion to his face. Like it was like if I had the same temperament that I have on this show to his face, pointing and just, you know, slapping. Oh, you're stupid, you know. And but he later apologized and everything. I guess they're not gonna cover that. I don't know why I'm talking about all the, you know, this feels gossipy. You know what? Let's just keep watching the video.
He has since had a tremendous rise with his own respective podcast. Him and his wife do an amazing job interviewing everybody from Ben Shapiro to even yours truly.
Oh my God, that's him. That's this. Wow.
Recent conversation with Ben Shapiro, the topic of Christianity.
Full disclosure, I have not watched this at all. Okay, I don't know. I'm hoping this will be interesting. I do like it when I have like religious slap fights that I could just sit on the outside and be like, you guys are both just not right. But it's funny.
And how it's juxtaposed with Ben's faith comes up. And where this conversation went is almost a guide or a how-to, or dare I even say a masterclass on how many of us should be thinking about the current political landscape. Not to say that we shouldn't have our views and even have a part.
What is this, man? What are you doing, dude? Like Trump, I'll go sit in the truck and then I'll be just like them. They'll say, excuse me. I'm just saying, I'm just like you. Excuse me. Okay. Did I tell you that? Did I tell you I'm just like you?
We're supporting, but the broader conversation of how we are to love our neighbor was so profound, especially on the heels.
Really talking about Ben Shapiro, and he's gonna be like, that's why loving your neighbor is so important. And you know who knows that? Ben Shapiro. That guy just loves all the neighbors, no matter who they are or what they live like, if they're gay or not. He loves them all. He loves them, every one of them.
Of the most controversial election ever. I think the points we're going to discuss in this video are huge to where our hearts should be as followers of Jesus. And that's why this channel exists, to encourage, empower, equip you, inspire you to live a life that blesses God. So if
I didn't think you could bless God, like how do you bless God? Like, doesn't God do the bless? Like most of the time I thought if you say bless you have to, like, you're asking God to bless somebody else. Like, you can't You can't bless God. Like, what is he going to bless himself for you? It's like, it's idiotic. Okay. It's ridiculous. And I know they're highlighting the Saul probably because somebody has said this. They're like, it's in the fucking Bible, dude. Psalm 68:26, dude. Check it out. But that verse is stupid. That verse is stupid and doesn't make sense.
If you're new here, or if you're not new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a huge
Oh yeah, if you like what I do here, you enjoy this kind of stuff, reacting to FundyTube, which is what I do. We make fun of FundyTube, so that we can heal from all that religious trauma that was caused by the religious stuff, and so now we laugh as a way to heal, and it's a lot of fun. It works good. But if you like that, then you should hit the like button, because that helps get the video to go out to other people that might enjoy it too. And if you want more of this stuff, you can subscribe and maybe hit that little bell. And you can also join. Man, we got an extra live stream every week. You're not even getting the whole show. Okay. So you got to get, if you want to become a member, get an extra live stream every Wednesday. That'll be tomorrow. And we're covering Sam Cedar versus Tim Pool. I know, it's awesome.
Percentage of people that watch this channel, unfortunately, are not subscribed. And as we're in the thick of the election season, I think it's important to have conversations.
And it's over. It's over. We just, it happened. And shit, I voted. Did y'all vote? Please vote and do it like goodly. Yeah.
Just about faith in Jesus, but also how faith in Jesus impacts how we engage in the crazy climate that we're experiencing in the West today. All right, let's jump into this video.
And it's changing too. There's a climate change that's happening right now. So, that's not what he was. Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I guess I was off.
Later on in the conversation, George Dango asks Ben, should we be focusing on leading a godly life and leading our home well, or engaging in civic conversation?
And leading our home well, it just feels weird to say. Like it just already out the gate. It just feels awkward when these religious people are like, the man, because that's what he's talking about, is a man going, you got to lead your home because you're in charge. You're in charge. That is your castle. Everybody are your subjects. That's the one place that you have some kind of power over other people.
Ben Shapiro gives him a great answer that ultimately you got to do both. And then he goes on to say some of the things that he doesn't like about some of the political climate, which I totally agree with. Now, watch as George Janko infuses Jesus again into the conversation, which I greatly appreciated. Check this out.
The stuff that tends.
Yeah, they love it. They just like, they'll be talking about something completely, there's like, would you like Mexican food? And they're like, yeah, burritos are actually Jesus. Oh man, anyway. Jesus probably would have loved burritos. What do you think about Jesus? Do you like him? There's something you think he's cool? He's your savior or no? It's just, anyway, back to burritos. That's
tends to generate long-term listenership. Is not just the rock'em sock'em robot kind of stuff that sometimes gets people in the door, and then you actually have to give them
rock'em sock'em robot. Well, that's fun to say. Rock'em sock'em robot. Man, that is what is he talking about though? I'm sorry.
We appreciate it. Check this out.
The stuff that tends to generate long-term listenership is not just the rock'em sock'em robot kind of stuff that sometimes gets people in the door, and then you actually have to give them some substance, and you have to actually have longer conversations. I mean, I think that.
So,
okay. I feel like there's a ton we could say right there, but okay.
Oh, Ben is talking about the content of just dunking on the opposition is not long-term growth. And he talks about once you could use that to kind of get people in the door, but once you get them in the door, you kind of got to go a little deeper. Now,
I don't think you do. I feel like they just could show up just for that, and then they're good. They don't, the Ben Shapiro's audience does not want to do anything. There is no deeper or anything like that. No,
I totally agree with his take here. I think it's very wise. And this is actually one of the reasons why I like Ben, because he has a bit more nuance in some of these discussions that he has, especially with people he disagrees with.
When it comes to my own brand, one of the things that we've really tried to do is talk with people outside our box. I mean, we talk to people across the aisle frequently. I have friends, obviously, who are not on the same page politically as I am. I try not to attribute bad motivations to the people who I'm arguing with. I try to say you're making a bad argument, but I'm not sure that it's coming from a bad place. And
it's funny too that they're talking about like that he's saying that, because just recently this whole thing with Annex Experience, that's exactly the kind of argument that she's been making for Ben Shapiro, basically saying that like it's not that he's malicious, it's not that he's a bad person, it's not any of that. He's just ignorant, lives in a different bubble, believes different things. That's all. It's just, that's it. That's one of the, that's, but, and don't get me wrong, like we can't, there's no way to know what somebody's motivations are. But as far as I can tell, if you hold certain kinds of positions that are heartless and harmful and things like that, like you can like still judge based on that evidence that they are, malicious or what I would define as malicious. And if your ideology outweighs honesty and empathy, then I would define that as malicious.
Typically, I mean, I get flack from my own side for saying this, but I tend to attribute most things to,
because we're all malicious and evil and terrible. Like that's all the people like, Ben, why are you giving them a pat? Clearly they just want to cut children into pieces. Okay, what are you even doing?
stupidity or ignorance rather than to malice.
Never attribute malice intent to which could be explained through stupidity or
I always thought about this more in terms of like just your day to day, right? I never really thought about it as far as like debate goes, but like when in your day to day, if somebody's doing something or whatever, if you're at work or something like that, and I don't know, maybe somebody moves your thing, like you really, you got your stuff set up just right on your whatever, your little area, and somebody moves your pen or something and puts it in a different place or does something like that, and they do it over and over, right? And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, don't assume that they're trying to fuck with you and drive you crazy because you put your pen right goddamn there, and it just keeps on fucking disappearing. And they're trying. They hate me. That's what that is. And they're trying. They want me to lose my mind until I start kicking the desks and stuff like that. And then it turns out that it was just somebody that kept forgetting to put the pen back after they used it because they have a problem with losing pens, and so they grabbed that one. Whatever. It's some kind of other explanation that isn't like them trying to harass you or harm. Like, it's best to assume that, right? But that's always just like I always just thought of it as in like a day-to-day basis. When it comes to like argumentation, I don't really care. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess like I do care about the motivations, but like there's nothing you can do about that. Whether or not they are like bad people or whatever at heart. If you're in a debate, like you can't do anything about that. You have to engage with the arguments that are being made. And if you start just trying to assume intentions, well, then you're going to come off sounding like you're assuming intentions that you couldn't possibly know. So I don't know, but
competence. So he's totally spot on here, especially in an election season. You have one half of the country thinking the other half of the country hates them and wants to see them dead. Now, I don't think it's that cut and dry. I think that most people genuinely want what they believe is good for most people, though they're wrong. And many people are wrong about what.
I think that's true to a degree, but I think there are like, if you like went and talked to like a literal white supremacist, I don't think that would be true. You know what I mean? Because they would not, they don't care about what happens to certain groups of people that are not them, which is sort of the problem. And anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think it is good to assume those kinds of intentions for the most part, but like, some people do just hate people. Some people just don't want some people to do well in life.
What's good for most people. The reality is that I think the deeper desire, even though it's distorted and even though it's coming from a problematic worldview, is to want what's best for people. And I like that Ben Shapiro said this because I don't think we acknowledge this enough. I think, again, oftentimes it's just...
And that seems to be like a really religious thing. Like, that's why, like, if you listen to any of these Christian nationalist arguments where they're trying to say that, like, Christians should be able to lead, they're like, we just know it's better. Okay. We know it's best for them. Okay. And if they're gay, well, they need to just not be. All right. They need to, or just hide it and cower in the shadows while we get to parade our beliefs in full view. But like, they need to just hide and don't be prideful. Don't ever, that's a sin. That's the main sin. That was the devil's sin, pride. And then here they are. Can you hide and be shameful, please? Just hide and be shameful. Trying to be all proud. Get the fuck.
Easier to dunk on the other side.
Which when the easiest thing in politics, the easiest game to play, and it's a game I really hate, is this game of the reason they're doing this or saying this is because they maliciously hate you. I don't like that game because it actually is impossible to come together with somebody who maliciously hates you.
Right.
I just don't even agree with that.
I don't agree with it either. I think
Who has that mindset?
I think they're a bunch of people.
Make America fear God again. Okay. Well, sure, dude. Whatever you got, but it's right. How's everybody doing? Doing okay? You feeling all right? Did you vote? Did you get out there and vote? I did. And I voted against Trump. That's what that is. Democrat down ballot. And yes on 3 and 4. And those are Florida amendments if you're not here. It's for legalizing the weeds and getting rid of the abortion bans. So, or making them toothless, I think maybe. But yeah, yes on 3, yes on 4. And Democrat down ballot. That's what I did. But let's see what happens. I'm in Florida, so yeah, I'm not very hopeful of this. You know, the way that the rest of the people the geniuses down here, the way that they all vote. Well, so let's see who won today. Who won? Rex, how we doing? All right. Well, hello there, late stuff. Oddly enough, I caught you in the recommended schedule for 2 minutes before I saw it. Guess we're both a pinch late, huh? Yes, I was a pinch. I was late by a pinch. That's exactly the unit that I would describe it being late in. Pinch. And Michael is number 2. So number 2. Very good. And somebody didn't just jump in and make you wrong about that at the last second, because sometimes that happens. So you're nailing it lately. It's kind of crazy. And Wasted Human, how we doing? All right, let's go. See, I fixed the color. It was the wrong color before, so now the comments actually match the decor around here, you know. And I did a purple background because I feel like that. It just goes good. It's like Hulk colors, right? Or Joker. I don't know. The Hulk and the Joker could both like bunk in with each other because they seem to like the same color schemes there. You know what I mean? Anyway, that'd be cool if they actually did live together. I would actually like to say. I feel like the Hulk would just be the Hulk all the time because the Joker would just be pissing him off just constantly. David Banner's trying to fucking do the or Bruce Banner. I'm sorry, not the David. That was a different one. That was an old television show with Lou Ferrigno. Anyway, but he would be like trying to do his sciencey stuff, and then the Joker would be swapping out, you know, the chemicals, so then he'd go and blow up in his face, you know, and then he'd get all bad. But you can never kill the Joker because, well, he's just the main character. He always has to evade being killed by like just a tiny little bit. Anyway, forgot what we're talking about something. Ember, how we doing? All right. Hey, Ben versus Jesus. That's what the thing says. I don't know if we're ever going to get to that, but apparently that's what it's supposed to be. Like, this is exactly one of the reasons why I need to start watching these things ahead of time. But I feel like it's not as fun. You know, I feel like it's better when it's genuine, when I haven't watched, you know, and we can all experience this shit together. You know what I mean? But what the fuck do I know? I don't even know. Anyway, let's see who else we got here. Baba Lee, how's it going? Where's Human Fear God? Why? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? God? Why the fuck do I gotta fear you, huh? Like, God should fear me. That's what I always say. Look out, God. All the gods, for that matter. You better fucking just watch out. All right. I'm gonna get that sword from Thor 3, and then look out. Okay. Serious. Was it 3? Was it Thor 3? Thor 3? That's hard to say. Where are we at? All right, we'll keep going.
People on the right who have that mindset, who are constantly, if ever they say they're out to get you.
Yes.
They're out to get you.
Yes.
Okay, so there are cases where there are people who are out to get you for a particular point of view.
That's
true.
Respond to every fucking thing you said. Like, I hate it when people do this in podcasts. Like, you're not in an actual, you're on a podcast. You don't have to be, yes, right? Yes, I know, right? Totes. Yes, of course, right. No, and you're like, oh my God, shut up. Let him fucking say a whole thing, okay? So that we're not constantly being interrupted with the audio of you saying, yeah, just don't. Just let them finish, and then you talk after they. So this is how podcasting works, okay?
Obviously, there are people who hate Christians, who really don't want Christians in the public square. That's 100% true.
Now, I like Ben bringing it back to Christians.
There are some people that just hate Christians, that just don't want them in the public square. I don't. Come on, man. I literally don't think that is true. I think most people that have a hard time with Christians it's usually about protecting yourself from them having too much power and forcing everybody to live in accordance with their religion that other people don't believe it. That's the problem there. But they're like, oh, and you hate Christians, you just hate them. No, man, I don't. It's the majority of the country. I'd have to fucking hate everybody. What are you talking about? I just don't believe their stuff, and I don't think they should have power over other people to force them to live in accordance to a religion that other people don't believe in.
And I think this is where George slides in a little more Jesus and gospel.
And if you want somebody to slide in, Jesus, I guess, I don't know, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley, and you can slide in. It's all sorts of stuff. You can just slide it, just slip it right in. Slimy, just slimy, slippery, just slipping it in to get the lube to do it. Makes it easier. Just slip right in. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Let's go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout and get your exclusive offer. Okay, get your butt some stuff. And yeah, again, like I said, if you want to like, subscribe, join, all that stuff, that'd be great.
So
If you get to the root of it, but if you get to the root of that, right?
Yeah.
No matter how much they disguise themselves with hatred or bigotry or racism, there is a disease in there that could be cured. And a lot of people don't agree. They think, oh no, they just need.
How you doing? It's been a minute. Haven't seen you in a bit. You doing all right? It's good to see you. Hell yeah. Cool. Glad you made it. Hey, Wolfos, you made it too. Holy shit. Yes. Sure. Yeah, I know. Stop, please. You know what? I'm gonna lose it if y'all start doing this. I don't even know. But I'm just gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Drusilla, how we doing? Okay. I hope for the best for you guys. You deserve much better. Thank you so much. I agree. But we're not gonna get it because we're in the darkest timeline. I don't know. We're in that, we're in that one timeline where they set everything on fire right away in Community. You know what I'm talking about? Where everything lights on fire. Anyway, that's where we are. That's the universe. So we all need to put on our goatees, right? And be the evil versions of ourselves, because that's the universe we're in, right? Just, just got to deal, right? It's Thor 4. Well, that's even harder to say. Thor 4. Thor 4. Yeah, thank you. 4. That's the one. All right. Nobody liked that one. Did you like that one? Everybody hated it. I thought it was kind of cute. It got really weird at certain times. It has that weird New Zealander kind of humor that I typically like, but you can't overdo it. You can't overdo that kind of humor. And he did. He really did, especially with the whole love triangle between him and his hammer or whatever. And that's kind of weird. I felt like that was just taking it a bit too far. But the bad guy was cool though. The God Killer dude. He was bad. He was badass. I like that a lot. Anyway, Logan, how we doing, Logan? You made it. All right, cool. I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing. You never stop. Stop sniffing. Who does that? Who ever stop? You don't, I just put every day. It's right here in my beard. Just every day. Just when I wake up, that's brush teeth, glue in the beard or in the mustache, just all day. That way I could just always feel like I'm gonna pass out, tingly, just nice and tingly. Feels good, makes for a happy day. Let's see, should my evil laugh be moi ha 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 or moi ha ha ha, or maybe moi ha ha ha? I'm going to go with the third one. What do y'all think? You third? I like the third. Well, maybe second. Second is good too, because it's got that extra moi at the beginning. You know what I mean? I feel like that's pretty good. I don't know. It's a good, maybe we're going to have to put it to a poll, I guess. We'll see. But Carrie, how you doing? Hey, you made it. All right. Very cool. Okay.
Need to be killed or they need to be wiped off this earth. But the truth is, regardless of how that person viewed, it's only because they were taking what their society or their thoughts all together and piecing them and then taking their POV of it and being like, no, I think Christians are bad because of blah, blah, blah. And
quick props to George Janko, and that he says society or thoughts, that it's both outside and inside, that it's both your wicked heart and your misunderstanding and you being deceived because you're a sinful person, and the culture and society doing a lot of deception.
they're taking what other fake Christians did to them.
Sure.
And so they believe that all of them. So
Yes.
of course,
Other fake Christians, they always have to do this and make some kind of distinction between their Christianity and other Christianity, which is just like, we know it's just it's a fallacy. It's a no true Scotsman. It's just like, you just say it, like, it's where you basically set up a criteria that only that you get to decide for what that actual thing is. And then anybody that basically that you don't like, or just has done something unfavorable, you just say they're not the true version of the thing that you identify with. That way you can separate yourself from them. Although most of the time they're all, it's just people being people, and Christian, like the criteria that it takes for a person to be a Christian is they believe in Jesus, right? They believe Jesus like resurrected or whatever, forgiveness of sin, and believe the Bible or whatever, right? But that, like, believe the Bible is such a loose thing because you can interpret the Bible to be almost anything, right? And but anytime Christians like do shit that they don't like, they're like, no, they're not a true one. Okay, that's those fakes, those faker Christians, And it's like, why? Like, what's the criteria that makes a true Christian a true Christian? And they would say what I just said, but then say that, but I don't like the way they behave, so therefore they're fake. Even though behavior has nothing to do with being a Christian or not. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's like if you're a Christian, the whole thing is that you can constantly ask forgiveness. So whether you do something bad or not, it doesn't matter. As long as you're asking forgiveness and reading the right book and being loyal to the right religion, you're a Christian. So it's just kind of funny when they do stuff like this.
of course, I could look at this person and be like, oh, F this dude. But the how I see this, true, and I know it sounds cheesy, is if my God did come down to save me, I was not worthy of being saved.
Yeah.
Our people tried to kill him.
How is there that if then? How is there? How is the logical? Hold on. What the fuck? He said, if he came down to save me, then I was not worthy. What? Like, why? Why would that if lead to that then?
Dude, but the how I see this, true, and I know it sounds cheesy, is if my God did come down to save me, I was not worthy of being saved.
Yeah.
Our people tried to kill him, but yet he still came and loved me. So when my enemy stands before me, I'm not looking.
You're getting way too excited about this. Okay, I don't know. It's so funny when they just are basically saying like boilerplate fucking Christian shit. Like, we all deserve to be tortured for all eternity. I don't know if you know this, but like the second you're born evil, you deserve to be just tortured forever. And because of stuff, and Jesus saves people that don't deserve it. So and I'm bad. Like, and he's just like, yeah, totally. We all suck. I mean, God, this is great, man. So this guy's saying all the stuff I like.
At him, I'm looking at the demons that trail behind him with his past trauma or his information that he's holding.
Man, that is so profound.
What? So, hold on. Let me get this whole thing, because he's saying that it's profound. I've got a feeling that it's not.
See this, true, and I know it sounds cheesy, is if my God did come down to save me, I was not worthy of being saved.
Yeah.
Our people tried to kill him, but yet he still came and loved me. So when my enemy stands before me, I'm not looking at him, I'm looking at the demons that trail behind him with his past trauma or his information that he's holding.
Man,
I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at the demons that are trailing behind him and the information that they hold. Okay. I'm not fully, I think he's just trying to separate, like, oh, we're all bad. Okay. We're just over here. We're forgiven. They are not. And the reason they're bad is not because they're bad. It's because demons are fucking with them or something. And so I just disagree with the demons that have convinced this person of the stuff that they think. And that's why they're bad. But they're not bad. They just need Jesus. I think that's the point he's making. I'm not sure. What do you all think?
And that is so profound.
No, it's not.
George.
Really not.
I mean, and he's alluding to Ephesians, which talks about we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. I had it pulled up here, right? For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms.
What, dude? Logan said, I'm not just MAGA. I'm dark Gothic MAGA. What is that? I don't even know. I don't even want to know what that is. It's just he wears those Punisher shirts with the skull, but it's like, then he also dyes his hair black, maybe paints his fingernails. But no, wait, that'd be gay. No, you don't. Isn't nothing about the fingernails. Take that. Just scratch that. He does the eyeliner again. Gay. Now, shit. What could they do? I'm saying they don't have a lot of options. Honestly, if you're trying to be dark Gothic MAGA, it just doesn't work.
The ability to separate people that our wars and our issues and our struggles are not with just people we disagree with, that there's deeper things that are happening here. So
there's the thoughts in their brain that they make them say words that I disagree with those, not with the person. Okay, I disagree with the demons that are whispering in their ear, and they're just being convinced by those demons, and that's why I'm really mad at the demons. That's that's the thing right there.
Should soften our heart to have compassion for people, and then tying it right back into Jesus. But let's see what he says. I'm excited to bring to you guys our first ever Bless God Summit happening March 27, 28, 29.
Yeah, Jam said, inconsistent humans are born sinners, meant for hell, and don't deserve a God's love, but also fetuses deserve an even more rights to life than you. Yeah, that's I always thought about that, because it's like it goes against their entire goal. Isn't their entire goal to get more people into heaven? And but if those fetuses did get souls, the Bible doesn't say that. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Bible says that, or it implies that a fetus gets a soul when it takes its first breath. It's the breath of life. And again, there's Numbers chapter 5, verse 11. They have a whole abortion thing. So it's God clearly does not care about abortion, seeing as how they can force women to get one if the man just believes that she has been unfaithful and is pregnant from somebody else. The Bible says in Numbers chapter 5, verse 11, that you can take them to a rabbi and they'll force a miscarriage, which is an abortion. But I thought their whole goal was to get more people into heaven. And if they're forcing people into existence, that would otherwise just go straight to heaven, right? They're trying to force them to grow up. And a lot of times force them to grow up without people that can actually take care of them, which I think would probably lead to more people not being saved, right? And so they, that it makes more people for hell. They're bringing people into existence just so they can have more people go to hell. Just seems odd to me. If they just agreed with abortion, then all those fetuses would go straight to heaven, right? But they want to force them to grow up. I don't know. That's my thought on the matter. It just feels like it's very contradictory to what they say they believe.
In Southern California, the Beat's very own Alan Parr and Jen Parr, my guy John McCrae from the What Do You Mean YouTube channel, Preston Perry, Dr. Sean McDowell, Live Actions, Lila Rose, Trizzle Fitness.
Oh, really? I haven't watched. I was actually going to ask y'all if you wanted to watch some of the Elon Musk one. Bob said, Punk Apostate, Musk said that wearing a MAGA hat was black with black letters on it. Oh, you didn't want to know. Sorry. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, I did. I feel like I read something about that where he's just like, I'm dark MAGA, the most awkward weirdo on the fucking planet. I swear to God. Jesus. Poker said them. Me. So them, they're coming out of their eggplant, and you're dodging it. You're dodging that eggplant cum, right? Just with an umbrella. I mean, you're using an umbrella for that, but you could just neo that shit. Just let it wiggle. It just wiggles right by, right? And you're just like, whoa. And then it died. I have no idea why we're talking about dodging cum, but I feel like that's what you're talking about, right? Talking about dodging cum. And if you want to dodge some cum, just go to adamandeve.com. That's right. Enter that code word Brentley. And you can dodge it, or you can catch it if you want. Some people like to catch it, on their face. Anyway, go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brently at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brently. All right. Yeah. See, that's how you do segues right there. See, you got to go from the comments and so, you know, the great thing about the commenters here on this show is that's part of the game, right? They say this, like, is he going to make a segue out of this? And 9 times out of 10, yes, I will. You know, even sometimes when it has nothing to do with it, I still figure out a way to, you know, just you know, shove that segue just right in the crack, right there. And if you want to shove something in the cracks, you know, you could just go to adamandeve.com, enter the code. Anyway, see what I mean? See how I'm doing this, right? It's pretty great.
My pastor Jeff and his wife Erin Moores, as well as live performances.
What was it, Jeff?
Preston Perry, Dr. Sean McDowell, live actions, Lila Rose, Trizzle Fitness. My pastor
Trizzle Fitness. Okay.
Jeff and his wife Erin Moores, as
okay, Jeff, and I feel like I need to remember some of these so that we can go back and watch some of their stuff.
well as live performances.
Especially that Trizzle dude. I want to see what's up with that.
Is from America's Got Talent winner Dustin Savella, Ryan Horton leading worship, Dirt Poor Robbins, and a special concert from John Keith and Miles Minnick. And listen,
What? Dirt Poor? Okay.
the goal of this conference is so that we can be the solution to all this craziness as we're coming out of a very tumultuous 2024. I don't know who's going to win this election, but I know there's going to be a lot of upset people come 2025. Now, this is our first conference that we're doing, but this is not our first live event. About a year
I hate to say it. I think I'm going to be the in the group of people that's going to be upset. That's all I'm saying. I know.
ago, we did a 3-hour event where we brought in some of the same speakers, and here's some of the feedback from the people that attended that event.
One of the things that stood out.
So they did some kind of event. Is this connected to the fucking thing with Ben? I thought they were going to disagree at some point. No, what the fuck?
Out to me was how you need to be secure in the Word of God and how reliable it is, making sure that God is.
It's literally. It's so funny. You got to be secure in your subjective interpretation of what you think the Bible means according to your doctrine of your denomination of your religion. You need to be secure of that, okay? Because it's, you know, it's objective.
In my personal ambition.
The reason this is important is because the church has to gather. If you're somebody who is on the edge or on the fence of wondering if you should jump in or not, jump in.
The health of my body is connected to my spiritual health, and that I need to take care of it. Be prepared.
That's so dating. Like, she's saying that her physical health is tied to, my God, those are some big earrings. Like, geez, you know, don't flinch. You know, like, don't go to look at something. You'll knock out like 7 people that are on each side of you or something, you know.
To bring your notebook and be prepared to be reminded.
They're so big they can't even fucking fall. Like, she has to hold her head like this. No, I gotta turn right there. Oh my God. Like, they're so fucking, look, this one's like can't even, like, she's barely tilting. Barely tilting her head, and this sucker's like just off on the side, just leaning on her fucking. Wow.
You are made for more.
I'm excited to announce that we really want to get as many of you there as we can. So we developed a couple of things. One,
Jim said, I also didn't get why Christians in particular are so obsessed with fixing the world, but also claim that the world is ruled by Satan. That is honestly, it's funny that you said that, because, like, especially in like political times like this, it's so funny when you're talking to Christians and stuff, and they're so concerned with politically, like, fixing the world and forcing everybody to behave like Christians. Like, they want to force, you know, which I think, and again, I don't know for sure, you know, but and it differs from person to person, but, like, I think a lot of, like, the abortion conversation is because they want to have consequences that a promiscuous person would not want to have happen for sex. You know, they want you to have those negative consequences, which is why, even though we have like a very safe and easy way to stop, you know, a pregnancy, they want to force those consequences, because they want to force everybody to live in accordance with their religion, whether they are that religion or not. But at the same time, they're also out there saying that, wait, we know the world is coming to an end, it's just going to get worse. We're on the narrow road, okay? The world's going to do what the world's going to do. We're over here, okay? Keeping the eye on Jesus, right? But they won't. They try to control the fucking wide road. They try to force all the people on the wide road to be on the narrow road through legal means, It's absurd. It's like, I thought this goes against your whole fucking thing. Anyway, but yeah, that's what, yes.
Now have a full scholarship opportunity. For those of you guys that are like, Ruslan, I want to be there, man, but the way my bank account is set up right now, I just can't cut it, bro. Okay, great. We have a scholarship available where you can
scholarship for what? Going to a conference?
Fill out a scholarship. And we have opportunities for those of y'all that got it and got the funds and you want to sponsor someone. We have opportunities to sponsor someone and right inside of the ticket sales section. And then
so let's partner together. And if you want to do something together with your partner, okay, I've got too many ads going on. Yeah, it's going to skip. Yeah, cut that. Yeah, that was my number.
Opportunity to buy a pay it forward ticket, as well as group discounts if you want to bring a bunch of your friends. Or if you're watching this right now, that means you already missed the very first price jump. The prices were for a scholarship to sponsor someone going that needs to be there. Yes.
Back to the fucking whatever. What? I don't even know what they were like at. Like, it was just a conference, right? And they're just like, a bunch of cool people going to be at the conference, and we'll give you a scholarship for a Christian conference. That's not what a scholarship is, dude. Can you just?
Our people tried to kill him, but yet he still came and loved me.
Yeah.
So when my enemy stands before me, I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at the demons that trail behind him with his past trauma or his information that he holds.
I mean,
dude, you already reacted to this. Like, why are you still? You're acting like.
Yeah, I think that's a very wise insight. And again, I think from an Old Testament context, that's the book of Jonah, right? The book of Jonah is all about the idea that Jonah has to go to Nineveh, where everyone's a sinner, and Jonah.
That was us.
Right.
We were Nineveh, where I'm a Syrian.
And Jonah's protesting because he's saying,
that's where I live. That was I'm like right down the street, and Jonah, actually, when he came in, he was like 2 houses down. I saw him go by, man. It was crazy, dude. He was nasty looking. It looked like he was all covered in disgusting stuff. It's like he was thrown up by a fucking whale or so. It was disgusting.
Saying the Assyrians are going to be the party who ends up destroying the temple. So why am I going and basically bringing them back to monotheism? And God says, well, they're human beings. I mean, you need to go and do that regardless of what comes next. And that's a very generous point of view. I'm not sure that it always manifests politically, but I think that when you're talking to people, it's wonderful. I also think that.
What is he saying? He's saying like the people, like Jonah was going to help a group of people that were going to destroy the temple. And he's like, I shouldn't go help them because then that'll help them destroy the temple by telling them about God or whatever. I don't know.
Even on the less deep level, I think you're going to a really deep level that's important, but even on the less deep level where you say, okay, there are people who are motivated by malice, who hate Christians for whatever reason, but actually hate Christians. I think it's easy to ascribe that motivation to a broader swath of people than it merits. So instead of saying,
man, this is a lot of wisdom on Ben Shapiro's part. And I love, again, he said, sometimes we got to be bold in public and then gentle privately. And I'm going through this in real time. We had some clips that have gone viral on my Instagram, me speaking up for the unborn and the pro-life issue. And
speaking up for the unborn. Okay.
I'm losing followers over it. I've lost close friends over it for saying something.
Good, because it's harmful to women, and it's not a good thing, man. They're literally allowing people to bleed out and fucking in the waiting room because doctors have their hands tied because they might get a fucking felony if somebody like you says that they didn't try to save the fucking fetus enough.
Something as simple as, hey, we should not harm unborn babies, right? That's considered radical and far right. And yet I have to speak boldly, publicly, and be gentle privately, which I think is what Ben is getting after here.
When we have a political...
What, dude? What are you talking about? What was any of that? He's just like, and so since I did that, and I publicly said, don't you do that abortion stuff, and I'm losing followers, so I have to be like nice about it in my day-to-day conversations, but I can be like psycho about it on Instagram. I don't know what his point was.
Disagreement over X, Y, or Z issue. It's, oh, you do that because you despise me and you want people like me to die. And I think that's the easiest thing in politics, because if you push on that button, then everyone who's on your side responds. Like it's an easy response mechanism. Because
it's great for
the crazy thing is, and I don't know about Ben Shapiro because like he's not a Christian, but they're also saying that like I mean, what they're saying, like, oh, we should like help them or whatever. We just disagree with them. But you're saying they're controlled by demons, dude. You're saying that you can't trust what they're saying because it's not them controlling their own thoughts. They're being controlled by fucking demons. My God. And you don't think that just like kind of removes the humanity too? That seems to be, to me, is like equally bad as just saying they are crazy and they want to kill me. If you're saying they're being controlled by invisible, undetectable monsters that hate you and want to kill you, like, what the fuck? How is that much different?
It's great for clicks and content.
Your threat, everyone's threat, limbic system goes into play.
Yeah.
And now you can manipulate people because once they're in a place of fear, it's very easy to manipulate people.
Yeah. And he's getting at us versus them, which again, a lot of what's happening right now in the political sphere, what's happening right now.
Michael said, hell in the Catholic Church, hell in the Catholic Church, anti-abortion. They believe if an actual infant dies before baptism, it doesn't go to heaven. No shit, really? Oh, wait, that's Catholic? Huh, I thought that was Baptist. I thought you had to be, I thought if you were, I thought that's why they were called that. I thought they were called that because you had to get baptized. Otherwise, you go to hell, no matter how Christian you are. If you don't do that Duncan ritual or whatever, then you know. But is that okay? So is that why Catholics like do that weird baby thing, the weird baby baptism, where they like shoot them with squirt guns or whatever, or they did during COVID? Anyway, interesting. Oops, what the fuck did I just?
You see that a lot on both the right and the left side of the aisle.
Yeah.
I think you see it, for example, with Trump, where people are like, he's a fat.
What's happening right now in the content space is a lot of us versus them, fear-driven dialogue.
I think that you see that a lot on both the right and the left side of the aisle.
Yeah.
I think you see it, for example, with Trump, where people are like, he's a fascist. He's going to kill people. Like, is he though?
What?
Is he really?
Yeah.
What is he cutting out? He's a what? He is a fascist, man. I mean, that's just just based on the general like criteria that makes that defines that word or whatever. He fits that criteria perfectly. As far right authoritarian, like person who is obsessed with loyalty and just wants to have power and everything over other people. That's fascist.
Why are they doing that? I think that some of them are doing it because they really feel that, which I think is misguided. Some of them are doing that because I think they're being manipulative. And a great way to motivate people is to say that there's an existential threat to you.
Right.
And so that's it's an approach called emotivism by the philosopher Alistair McIntyre.
Okay, we'll get back into that. Chris said, sometimes I wonder why Shapiro is sticking around a crowd that isn't the same religion as him. I know, right? That is interesting. But also wish his ethnic group's demise. Yeah, power is power, and that is true. Like the Christian relationship with Jewish people is so interesting, because it's like, they love to say that they have the same values. They're like, oh, we got Judeo and Christian values. They're the same. There's one pot of values there, and it's the Jewish kind and the fucking Christian blood. They're all just swirling in that pot of values. And but at the same time, they'll sit there and be like, but they control the world. You know that they're in charge of Hollywood. You know that there is a what is he called? The synagogue of Satan. Okay, and he's just ruling over the Hollywoods, the pharmaceuticals industry. Like, they're controlling the world. The Illuminati. Okay, the Illuminati is just basically Jewish people and sometimes lizard people, depending upon how stupid the person is that's saying it. But yeah, it's really strange. But then they have this like crazy, like irrational love for Israel too. Mainly, I think because Israel is gonna, they need Israel to basically be doing what they're doing, so that the whole world can go against them, and then they can be miraculously saved by God, and then the end of the world happens or whatever. It's like they need Israel to be doing the stuff that it's doing so that they can have the end of the world that they want, which is insane. But the love-hate relationship with Judaism as far as Christianity goes is kind of fucking crazy. It's really funny how it seems to contradict itself all the time. I don't know. It's weird.
Trying to attribute motive to the person rather than arguing with their argument.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard it referred to as an appeal to motive fallacy. When you start thinking people's intent.
Giselle said, but your t-shirt says "Make America Fear God Again." And you know how you do that? By getting Trump in there or whatever and giving the Christians all the power so that they can terrorize everybody. Then everybody has to fear God. I think that's what they're, that's what he's probably thinking there. Not sure, but could be.
Know people's heart. That makes you a mind reader. Makes you.
Hold on.
So that's it's an approach called emotivism by the philosopher Alistair McIntyre, trying to attribute motive to the person rather than arguing with their argument.
Yes, yeah, I've heard it referred to as an appeal to motive fallacy. When you start thinking you know people's intent, know people's heart, that makes you a mind reader, makes you have the ability to know what other people's intent is. And again, I think we'd be better off.
I mean, again, it doesn't matter as far as I understand. If we're talking about ideological debate and stuff like that, it doesn't matter what the motivation is. We need to argue with the actual arguments themselves. I would say that too, but that doesn't mean that we just forget about what those motivations are, because those a lot of times will help inform arguments in other ways. But you just got to make sure that your arguments are actually addressing the arguments and not just the motivations. I'm pretty sure what he's talking about is only a fallacy if you only address the motivations, not the arguments themselves.
By being charitable and believing the best about people's intent, even people who don't know Jesus.
You don't have to do that. That's that. Again, you should just not think of it that way. I would say to try to do the steel man thing though, and try to take the most charitable version of their argument and then debunk that, or go, make a response to that. Don't, straw man, obviously. But if you can try to come up with the strongest version of their argument, and again, putting all motivations aside, go against that. That's, the best way to do it.
Saying yes, and there's spiritual forces at play, and they're misguided. However, they still want what's best for other people.
And that's something I really, really try not to do in debate.
Yeah.
So if I'm in debate, I never will say to you, you're doing this because what you believe is X. I'll say, okay, just make sure your argument is this. Here's where I see flaws in that argument. I see flaws here, here, and here. Because if we do that, we can have a conversation. If I'm arguing about your deep-rooted motivation is that you want something terrible to happen to me and my family, that's not an argument now. Now we're at war.
Yeah, I understand that. So you're saying, okay.
It's not an argument. Now we're at war. No, you're just being, you're just assuming a bunch of shit about the person that you couldn't possibly know. But if somebody tells you what their motivations are, believe them. That's the other thing. Sometimes people are clear about what their motivations are.
This is an Old Testament reference too. If they can't assassinate you, they'll assassinate your character.
Okay, so later in the conversation,
let's see. Is it gonna work? Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh shit. Something's going on with my internet. All right, Let me get it from over here. Sorry, it's taking a second. There it goes. Okay, Ember said it's not about knowing people's intent. It's about asserting people's intent as a way of dismissing their argument. For fuck's sake, Russ, I don't know, has a lot to learn about rhetoric and propaganda. Oh my God, yeah. He is just, he's not well versed in that. He seems to be led all over the place by rhetoric and propaganda. Both of those. And Ember said fact check. Fact check. Ben dismisses arguments based on motive all the time. That does not surprise me at all. He's like the king of making arguments that are fallacious when or pointing at arguments that are fallacious when it serves him, and then basically doing those same arguments later when it doesn't, or whatever. But yeah.
Ben makes a really crazy statement about getting more people back in church, even though he's Jewish.
And so I think that people increasingly...
I think we're looking at the hand of Nineveh.
This is a book. Say Chris Moore, the study of why I'm always correct no matter what. Is it a book on rhetoric and argumentation? That's good. I actually like stuff like that. I'm listening to right now on Audible. There is a thing on argument, a course on great. I think it's like the Great Courses Plus, whatever. Those are awesome. I love it because it's like you actually can hear them teaching a class instead of just a book being read to you. It's like you can actually hear them teach a class. And there's one on argumentation. It's really interesting. You know, you learn cool stuff like facts aren't arguments. You can cite facts all you want, but those aren't arguments. You have to use those facts, utilize them but you have to act on those facts as, you know, and making arguments about anyway. But
anyway, again,
yeah,
I think our people need to
possible.
repent and beg God to come back to this.
I mean, I agree with that actually. Again, I probably, as a Jew, I probably brought more people back to.
They don't? Are you sure? Okay, that I mean, to be honest, that's pretty fucked up. Of everybody eating those super holy animals like that. Okay, just having burgers of their gods just all the time. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I would be mad. I would be mad at them if they did that.
The church, then I mean, there are not a lot of people in the United States who have done more on that. I think it's deeply important that people go back to church. I've mentioned it multiple times here. As a non-Christian, I think that this is a country that's
like Peter.
Yeah, well, he had a different beliefs, but yeah, I do think that it's very.
But like, you still go to church though, don't you, man? You go to your version of church, and you're saying like people should just go to church, because typically, if they do that, then they're more likely to have their beliefs align with yours, your weird conservative beliefs.
Very important that people, you know, get enmeshed in a biblical set of values again, because that undergirds all the principles that I want to see.
So it's very interesting to hear.
I never understand what that means. Like they always say like biblical values, and I never understand what that means because like the Bible can be interpreted to death, just in any fucking direction that you want. Like there is no actual biblical quote unquote beliefs that are objective. It's always some interpretation extrapolated from others. Because like they'll sit there and say that it is that it is a biblical belief that abortion is wrong. And yet, like I said, Numbers chapter 5, verse 11, it makes it very clear that God not only doesn't give a shit about abortion and doesn't see a fetus as like its own person with personhood and everything and a soul and all that shit, but prescribes abortion given a particular instance, which is simply that they were unfaithful, and that warrants that, you know, abortion to be able to, you know, for them to be able to do that. Yet they will sit there and say till they're blue in the fucking face that the Bible is anti-abortion. But that's simply because like it was a wedge issue that was used to divide people, you know, and it fucking worked. And Christians don't really care about what the actual Bible says. They care about their little group of people and being loyal to their little group of people. And, you know, that seems to be the main thing. Usually, like mostly with family, it's like they're loyal to their family's beliefs. And that is what equals morality to them, you know?
Ben Shapiro, talk about getting more people in the church. Talk about believing the best about your political opponent.
I apologize for this. I should have watched this ahead of time. That was the worst I thought he was going to debate, man. What is going on here? Jesus Christ. What does this thing say? Something the pagans. Bring the pagans? I don't know what that is.
About having dialogue with people you disagree with. I think so many of these things we don't really think about, especially in light of the current political climate and all the tension and all the crazy stuff that's going on. So I love that George Janko had this conversation with him. I love that there's so much common ground. I think that Ben Shapiro is super sharp when it comes to these conversations. And later on in the conversation, to talk about like Candace Owens and all that stuff.
Among the pagans. That's it. And it's a bless God shirt. Okay. So it's one of his shirts, and it's saying they're like, bless God when you're among. Oh no, wait, that's on the microphone. I have no idea what's that. So what is this fucking shirt?
You guys should really go check out the full conversation. So if you want to see the whole podcast, I recommend you go watch it. We'll have that over here for you. And if you want to see the
good, that was really boring and not at all what you fucking said it was supposed to be in your title here. It says Ben Shapiro pressed on Jesus. Who pressed what? There was no pressing happening at all in that whole fucking video. And I'm mad, Rusey. Okay, that's what I call him. I call him Rusey. You know, God damn it, Rusey, be better. Quit with this clickbait bullshit. Okay, fucking frustrating. What the fuck? Let's see where we got here. So, Joe Rogan endorses Trump. course he fucking does. Jesus. Great. What I mean, it's funny that like, okay, so they got that one. Like Joe Rogan endorsed him. All at the same time, didn't all that information just come out about like Trump and Epstein, and they had a much better relationship than most people were willing to admit or talk about? And that Wolf guy, the Wolf, I can't think of his name. That's something he writes books, and for some reason he holds on and hoards information until 5 seconds before the fucking election, I guess, in order to, I don't know, I don't even know, I get to make more money. That's what it is. He wants to make more money. This information was more valuable right when the fucking election is going to come. It's like, God damn it. But yeah, so I don't know. It seems to me that Trump's bad. He's bad. Oh, look at that. It's another demon one. Where we at here? I was just going to see if I can find a short one real quick. We can check it out. They lied to us. Watch this. Christian professor shut down evolution theory in 5 minutes. God, why do they actually think? Okay, my God. Where are we at here? Honestly, I'm worried about this week. Just a short one. Oh, let's see. I guess since we're on this. This is the actual thing. So he's going to talk about his falling out with Candace Owens.
My next question is going to seem like it's like a gotcha moment, and I pray that you don't see it that way. I'm sitting here truly just trying to learn from you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't,
that glass is freaking me out. What, dude? Is there no other fucking place? There's equipment around here, dude. You're in a studio, okay? And you got this, whatever it looks like. You're just setting your glass on your cell phone. What are you doing? Okay. First of all, the condensation is going to get all over the cell phone, and it's just not going to anyway.
Don't feel comfortable to discuss this?
No, it's fine.
Okay. I just wanted to know, do you?
No, it's fine. Just go. Stop apologizing for it.
Do you miss your relationship with Candace Owens as like a friend, like somebody who?
So I mean, the truth is that Candace and I were never, particularly close.
Okay. Ember said Trump was my best friend. He hung out all the time. Epstein, dude, it was so funny. There was somebody that I was talking to that is an acquaintance, just a person I know. They're very conservative, and I was trying to, like, I always try to kind of like avoid political conversations in certain circles when I know that I'm amongst people that disagree with me and everything. And we were talking about just Epstein in general. And I was just like, yeah, a lot of powerful people were on his plane. And I tried to even it out, right? I tried to go, yeah, Bill Clinton, Democrat, he was on there. And Trump, right? Trump was on there a lot. He was on the manifesto or whatever, the plane. He rode the plane a bunch of times. And this guy, he goes, oh, yeah, no, I know about that. You know what happened? So Trump, of course, he's a businessman. Okay, he's a businessman. He buys a lot of real estate. This guy works in real estate and everything like that. So they got together, and he was working these business deals, right? And then he didn't know about any of the stuff, the PDF type file stuff that was going on that island. And so he didn't, and once he knew, he was like, I'm not doing business with you anymore. And so that's why his name was all over that Epstein stuff. It's not because he's a garbage person that associates with PDF files or anything. No, it's that he didn't know. And then once he did, we're out of here. That's it. I'm taking my checkbook and heading out. Okay. Cause we're not doing businesses anymore. We're not doing, I don't do business with people that own a PDF file island. I don't do it. Okay. But, and it's like, wow, man, just look at your brain just like falling over itself to protect itself from your cult leader that you love so much. You know what I mean? It's just like your brain, you're just bending over backwards, like you have pretzeled this fucker. Just be like, no, but maybe, well, what if how can I possibly come up with something on the fly, like at the last second, maybe just like make it like he's not bad, even though all the evidence suggests that he actually is. Maybe he didn't know and then when he did, he stopped. So it's because he also said there was he had fewer instances on the plane than all the other Democrats. I'm just like, okay, what about Kamala Harris? You know, she's how often was she on the plane? How many? Do you remember, Kevin? How many times was Kamala? Yeah, never. That's right, never. Yeah, she was never on there. Yeah, she's never doesn't have any grape allegations against her either. Crazy how that works. You know, no grape allegations. No hanging out with a super wealthy PDF file. Neither one of those things does Kamala Harris is, you know, it's in association with her. Trump, though, on the other hand, has both those. And how many accusations of grape do we got? A lot. I don't know exactly how many, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's all right, let's see here. We'll keep going. Well, what are you all doing? I know I'm sort of off all over the place here. It's been a crazy day. I was out voting, you know, I was out voting and doing my sticker. And that was cool. It was crazy because I went by yesterday and driving by the poll, and we have like early voting here, you know, and holy shit, the place was packed. It was totally packed out, right? And then today, which I was worried, I'm like, shit, if it's packed out this day, then it's going to be, you know, when I try to go in, I'm going to be stuck here for hours. And nope, turns out it's not. No, it is absolutely not packed. I made it in and out in like 15 minutes. I think it took like the thing that took the longest was me trying to figure out these fucking amendments. Okay. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going with blank. I'm doing the two that I know, and then the rest are blank because I don't want to accidentally. I always get scared. And tell me if y'all do this. Like, I always get scared that if I Christmas tree a ballot, what if I'm the reason that the fucking world ends? You know what I mean? What if it starts a butterfly effect, right? I don't know what this judge is all about. I didn't research the judge, right? And then I bubble in that they need to keep being a judge, or they should be a judge when they weren't before, or whatever. And that's the judge. That's the one that ends up, helping Skynet or whatever. You know what I mean? And then everything, and it's all my fault. It's all my fault. I was the deciding fucking vote that led to the end of the goddamn universe. So that freaks me out a little bit. So I just leave it. If I don't know what they are, if I don't know about the judges or whatever, then I leave them blank because I don't want a Christmas, some people Christmas tree. I don't do that. And for folks that don't understand, like a Christmas tree is where you just randomly bubble stuff in, so I don't know why we use, I guess that's because that's how you decorate a Christmas tree, is by bubbling stuff in. It doesn't really make sense. I guess maybe those are bulbs because those are little bulbs that go all over the Christmas tree. I'm not really sure, but I feel like that could. Anyway, but yeah, so what were we talking about? Oh yeah, voting. Did you all vote? Did you all get out and vote? How does it work where you all are at? Do you let's see. Carrie said, I did vote alternative for some of my state. You did vote alternative? What does that mean? You voted for like Nirvana and other bands that are like that? I don't know what you mean by alternative. I don't some people say that they're grunge, but I always said that they were alternative. But I don't really know what alternative means in relation to like music and stuff. I think there's like the mainstream, and then there's the alternative to the mainstream, which is Nirvana, I guess. Is there any other examples of who? Anyway, it's I would have voted if I could. Oh yeah, well you're in Norway. You can't vote in our election from Norway. I wish you could. Honestly, I feel like we'd probably be in a better shape if people from Norway voted for our elections, but you can't do that. It's not, so it's frowned upon. Let's see, Logan said, gotta go between the opening line and the lunch ride. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, everybody gets there right at the get. Okay. And I was an hour late. I was, so, because I woke up later, even though the time change should have made it so I woke up anyway. But yeah, still messed me up. Logan said they aren't allegations, they are facts. Well, it's especially the main one, right, where he literally got It literally was held accountable by a jury. So that one for absolute fact. But he's got there's just been tons of women who have come forward. So yeah, it's not good. Logan said Epstein also said Trump couldn't read and didn't understand anything but building purchases. But he was his best friend. He's like, boy, I love stupid people, dude. It just they make me feel smarter. They make me feel like as he stand next to Trump, I'm a fucking genius, man. I feel great about this. He's just I need more stupids around. You know what I mean? That's what makes me feel great. Let me see where we at. So I got to vote for AOC to represent me, and that felt good. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, no, that is cool. I like AOC. She's cool. She seems she just gets it, So and you just voted. All right, cool. Hell yeah. No, that's all right. Let's see. Oh wait, I did that one. I'm trying to go back a little bit so I don't just a little bit. I can't go all the way back, obviously, but was it Giselle said we're just about 5.5 mil. So you don't know how much it would help. Yeah. So you're only 5 point. Really? That is a very small. Huh. It's funny too because that always comes up when I'm like, why can't our government be like Norway? They're like they have like no people. They have like 3 people in that country, And I don't, because I don't really know how it works. I was always just like, well, doesn't that make it like more? Doesn't that mean that we could be like them even more because we have more people paying into our taxes, so that way we could take more resources and stuff out of the government because we have more people to pay into it. I'm sure that's wrong or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know things. What are you talking about? Wolfo said, second day of early voting, the parts of the ballot out here had a real choice to be made between Dems and Republicans. The rest only had one Republican on the ballot. So I skipped those. What? Really? Wait. So wait, some of the you're saying 3 parts of the ballot out here had a real choice to be made between Dems and Reps. The rest only had one Republican on the ballot. How's that? How's that legal? They just left off the Democrats on the ballot? That's crazy. I didn't know you could do that. I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. Where is it? And I can't remember. Like they were saying that RFK Jr. was still going to be on the ballot in certain places. You know what I'm talking about? That's kind of funny, right? And because they were, I guess, because it was all like last second or something, they were like, "Oh no!" And I think Republicans are going to try to like, I don't know, fucking sue or say that it's cheating or something like that because he dropped out of the race too fucking late. And so, they can't reprint all the ballots unless, did they reprint? I can't remember what happened. I thought that was what was happening, but I'm now I feel like I'm remembering somebody suing and it like they made him redo it or something, but I could be mistaken. Do you all know what I'm talking about with that? Hey, what's up, Dave? How you doing, man? Doing all right? Desk is looking good, man. That thing is tidy. That is tidy. All the, everything in its place and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what my mom always says. Place, yeah. I said it right. Let's see. Logan said, I'm planning to go to bed early tonight and stay away from the news. I know. See, this is why you see I'm on edge. I'm kind of I'm shaking a little bit. My fingernails are already gone, so now I'm just biting off pieces of my finger. I'm not going to have fingers pretty soon here. But maybe that's a good idea. Maybe going the way you're saying, because into what, Carrie? Really? Are you serious? What's wrong with you? Huh? What's like? Give me some of your Valium, I guess, then, okay? Because clearly you've got something going on there. What the fuck? How are you not worried? Are you serious? You think that it's that in the bag for Kamala? I do not think. In fact, I'm actually leaning towards the other direction, to be honest. I think it's far more likely that she's gonna lose. There's just too much shit going against her in a lot of different ways, and there's just people that would never admit to themselves. They would never say it out loud. They would never admit it, but they don't want a woman in charge, period. And they definitely don't want a woman of color in charge. You know, that's just, and they might not be out there talking about that, but I feel like that right there is gonna, you know, could possibly hurt the campaign. But like, I don't know. I hope you're right. I hope that we don't have anything to worry about, but I'm worried. I'm a little bit worried. I kind of think that we're in big trouble from here on out. Wolfo said no Dems were even running in half the state of Texas. Oh, because Texas is out. Wow. Okay. So it wasn't even like, don't even bother running. Okay. It's fucking Texas, bro. Could you just not run? And Democrats like, okay, yeah, I guess we'll just like kicking. All right, well, anyway, I'm gonna go not be an elected official. See you. And that's crazy though. Oh wait, did I read it all? No Dems are even running in half the state of Texas, and none of the minor issues even made it to the ballot. Where am I at? What's it? Minor issues. Like Board of Education only had one person running, and it was the incumbent for 12 years. Oh, okay, Jesus. All right, that makes sense. That's fair. You know, I can't give you too hard a time about that. Let me see. Do you think mandatory voting is a good thing, like they have in Australia? They have mandatory voting. Interesting. I did not know that about Australia, and I think mandatory. I don't know if I like mandatory. I think that it should be. I think that it should be encouraged, and I think that it should be easy to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they should have a federal holiday out of it, stuff like that, to where like everybody, it doesn't matter, no matter where you work, you can go out and vote. Because a lot of the times, the people that end up not being able to vote are poor people, because they're the ones that have to fucking be at work, and their boss is not going to let them take off to go vote. So in that regard, I think, and I do think that the more people vote, the better. The problem is, lately, that's under that kind of comes with the presupposition, I should say, or I mean, the prerequisite, I should say, that we have a good education system, right? And that's sort of been failing us lately, right? Like, because if we don't have a good education system, good public education, then voting kind of just doesn't. It actually can hurt. It can actually hurt the country, because the you get all the voices of all the people, but all the people are fucking stupid, and they don't know how to understand how anything works. And then, you know, they're out voting for these people who are just emotionally manipulating them through rhetoric and propaganda and all this other stuff. And so that's, you know, that's kind of scary. But no, I don't think it should be mandatory. No, I disagree. Yeah, I think it should be widely encouraged and easy as fuck to be able to do. Don't think it should be mandatory. I don't know. But that's me. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Y'all think it should be mandatory? And hey, trees, what are we doing? How are we doing? When did you get here? I haven't seen you this whole time. You're just hiding amongst the trees. You're probably just back there hiding. You're probably hiding behind a bush. That's what it is. You just blend right in. You know, I can't tell the difference between a tree and a bush, because y'all are just so similar. Let's see where we at. I will fight if I have to, but I voted for solutions. Oh, okay. I'm not really sure what you mean by that way. It isn't that I don't have a healthy contempt for the bigotry, the biggity, for the biggity side. I don't have a healthy contempt for the biggity side winning, but it does change who I am or what I stand for. So I am not worried. Fair enough. I mean, you know, it's like I always try to tell my brain to like not worry and be like, look, if there's nothing you can do about it, don't worry about it, because there's nothing you can do about it. Only worry about the stuff that you actually have the ability to do something about, right? And if you've done your part, you voted, you know, and you're out, you know, encouraging other people to vote and vote correctly. You've done the best you can. You did your part, and that's it, right? You know, but problem is my brain doesn't do that. My brain's like, fuck you. No, I will worry about stuff I have no control over. Fuck you. Okay, look at me over here, freaking out. You know, and I'm just like, okay, I guess that's, you know, my brain's gonna do what my brain's gonna do, and there's nothing I can do about it because it's my brain. But all right, y'all. Well, hey, thank y'all so much for hanging out. This was a wacky one, huh? Kind of weird, but if you want to, you know, do some sex stuff that might be kind of weird, go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, Brently, at checkout. Adamandeve.com has an amazing catalog of everything from lingerie to you know, dildos and stuff, vibrators, all this type of stuff, BDSM shit, like everything you can think of, they've got it there. And they do have discreet packaging too. And as far as I understand, it comes pretty quickly. Not you could, like, you can actually slow down how fast you can, but like the package, I mean, not that kind of package. God damn it. You know, it's getting, the metaphor keeps just eating itself. But go to adamandeve.com and enter code word Brentley and get your exclusive offer. And vote, please vote. Go and vote blue, please. You know, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. Also, if you want to support the show in other ways, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and entering that code word Brentley, or you can go to patreon.com/Punk Apostate. And like I said, there is a full episode of a conversation that I had with SR responding to Charlie Kirk about Christian nationalism. I put a clip out just recently, but the full conversation is on Patreon, completely unedited. It's a really good one. It's a lot of fun, so you should check that out. And but if you want to become a member, we're going to have a members only live stream tomorrow, and that'll be fun. I think we're going to go over the Sam Cedar versus Tim Pool conversation because, you know, that's just going to be awesome. I know it's going to be fun. But yeah, you can follow me on all the other stuff. If I get anything wrong or there's anything you disagree with or anything like that, shoot me an email, punkapostate@gmail.com. If there's anything that I'm doing that's incorrect, or just, you know, or if you want to share your deconversion story or any kind of logical arguments that you think are interesting and want me to know about, maybe if you've seen that I don't understand something properly, educate me. I want to learn. So shoot me an email, punkapostate@gmail.com. You can also, you know, interact on Discord. I go in and out of there quite a bit. And you can follow me on all the socials, which I'm going to put all the links below. So, but thanks y'all so much for hanging out. This was pretty fun. I am freaking out. I'm freaking out a bit about this. But, you know, stay logical and loving, skeptical and compassionate. And we'll see you next time.